Okay, so let's get this one over with. I had a really long talk with my daughter tonight because apparently our best friend that she's had since preschool, granted she just turned 8, so it's only been about 3 or 4 years, handed her a note last week saying that they couldn't be friends anymore. Well, come to find out, she can't be friends with her because my daughter mom is white. Obviously, yeah, anyway, that is about the biggest bunch of bullshit I've ever heard. And my daughter's not lying at all. So it made me wonder. I've got a son who gets bullied because he's got blonde hair, blue eyes, and freckles. My daughter's getting bullied because her mom is white. My daughter is part Mexican, Spanish, French, Indian, Irish, German. Oh Lord, she's got a mix in her. And because her mom is white, she's getting picked on. Now, what the hell? I see so much on the news about anti-bullying and no racism and everything like that. But what I'm sick and tired of is the people who are crying out about racism and having racism done against them being the ones that are the most racist people I've ever met. I am not kidding. You're going to pick on a little girl or teach your kids that it's okay to pick on a little girl because one of her parents is white. Oh my effing God, really? Seriously, people. When parents teach their kids this kind of crap, the parents need to be held accountable. I'm sorry. Kids that are 7, 8 years old don't pick that shit up on their own. They just don't. They had to learn it somewhere. And they didn't learn it from Bob the Builder or Dora the Explorer or Barney, and I hate Barney, by the way. He's just irritating. They didn't learn it from that. Um, so some messages for the parents that are teaching their kids. If you're Mexican, you need to hate white people or black people because of whatever. Or if you're white, anybody that's not white is bad. Or anybody that's not black that's bad. Hell, anybody that's not neon green is bad. You need to pull your heads out of your asses because this is what kids do. They fucking make fun of other kids for their skin color. They bully. They do kinds of things that people cry out about, but then they're the ones teaching their kids to do it. What the hell? You know? I'm not saying I'm a perfect parent by any means. But my son spoke up for his best friend who is blacker than the black on my mouse. Darth Vader, by the way. Very cool. Because kids were picking on him because he was the only black kid at the school. And then my son got in trouble for that. My daughter's getting picked on because her mom is white. I don't raise my kids to be that way. I don't raise my kids to notice skin color. I raise my kids to notice what's in here. Or here. Yeah, there's your heart, whatever. And that's what kids should be noticing. They shouldn't be noticing that this is my skin color. Or that is whatever. Because if it all comes down to it, if you freaking slice your finger off, do you bleed black? Do you bleed brown? Do you bleed white? No. We all bleed red. If you've ever had a blood transfusion, do you know where that blood came from? No, you don't. But I'm sure you're pretty glad it was there to save your life, right? So, does it matter who it came from in the end? No, because it saved your life. If you needed a police officer to save your life, would you care what skin color they were? No, you wouldn't, as long as they're saving your life. Same thing for a firefighter or anyone in the military. Skin color doesn't matter there. Why does it matter in the schoolyard or walking down the aisle in the grocery store? Why does that kind of thing matter? Have pride in your heritage. If you're Irish, have Irish pride. If you're Mexican, have Mexican pride. If you're Black, have African American pride or Nigerian pride or Georgia pride. I don't care. Have pride in your heritage. Yes, care about where you came from, but don't teach your kids that the color of the skin matters more than someone else's. Because, again, when it all comes down to it, we all bleed the same skin color. We all have, what, like 206 bones in our body? We all have, for the most part, hair. Some people have crazy color hair, you know? But that doesn't matter, because what's on the outside doesn't make the person. What's on the inside does. And when you're ugly on the inside, you're ugly on the outside no matter what. And we all need to stop this kind of crap. Because when we're teaching our kids to act like that, we're going to end up fucking bringing back the KKK. Oh yeah, that was a fun one, right? Men running around in sheets, hanging people and burning crosses in yards. Do we really want that kind of thing to happen? No. I want my kids to grow up in a loving world. Now, no world's going to be perfect, but I want my kids to grow up in a world where you're accepted for who you are. Not what you look like on the outside, what color your skin is, or anything like that. And that may be a little bit much for some people to swallow, but damn. Get over it. You need to do something better with your time than teaching your kids to be a bunch of prejudiced little shits. I'm sorry. And once I talk, I forgot what I was going to say there, but my point is, we need to respect each other as humans. We don't need to treat each other like pariahs or social morons. We need to treat each other as people. Because I could go out in the middle of the street and get hit by a car. And I could be on my last legs and somebody could save me in their freaking neon pink. Or whatever. But I'm going to be grateful for that person. I'm going to be grateful for my neighbors. I'm going to be grateful for my son's best friend. I'm going to be grateful for whoever my kids have in their lives. Because they're beautiful people. Not because they were painted a different color. My son once asked me how come people came in so many colors. And I told him because God likes a rainbow. And generally speaking, I think God does like a rainbow. Because who wants to look just like the person next to him? Who wants to be just like the person next to him? Life would get boring in that way. But don't hate someone because they're different from you. Don't teach your kids to hate someone because they're different from you. That's the biggest pile of crap you could teach someone. And I think a lot of the problems in society stem from that, because people expect you to do worse because of the color of your skin. Well, you know what? Quit doing what people expect you to do and do better than what they expect you to do. If you live like a filthy, disgusting pig because that's what people expect you to do, then you're proving them right. Go ahead and prove them wrong. Let's everybody get together and prove everyone else wrong for once. Start teaching our kids to be people instead of colors. Let's teach them to have their own ideals instead of doing what everyone else thinks is right. I detest normal. I never want to be normal a day in my life, because I'm not going to be like the person next to me. And I'm not going to teach my kids to be like the person next to them either. But I'm going to teach them to be human, respectful people. And if you watch this, great. If you don't, oh well.